Part 5. There's a quiet but critical shift that begins to take place after your first video settles into the system and the initial emotional storm fades. A shift that most beginners don't even notice until it's too late, because this is the moment where you either become intentional or you become random, and the difference between those two paths determines everything that follows. Because YouTube does not reward random effort, it rewards clarity, consistency, and direction, and as you sit there thinking about your next move, you begin to realize that uploading another video is not just about repeating what you did before, it's about refining it, improving it, and understanding what your channel actually stands for. At this stage, your instincts are still developing, still uncertain, and there's a strong temptation to experiment with everything at once. Different topics, different styles, different formats, hoping that something will work. But this scattered approach often leads to confusion, not just for you, but for the algorithm and the audience, because when your content lacks direction, it becomes difficult for YouTube to understand who should see your videos, and even harder for viewers to know why they should subscribe. And this is where the concept of a niche quietly enters the picture, not as a restriction, but as a strategy. And the word niche often feels limiting at first, like you're being forced into a box, but in reality, it's the opposite. It's about focus, about clarity, about becoming known for something specific instead of being vaguely present in everything. Because when people understand what your channel offers, they are far more likely to return. And when the algorithm recognizes patterns in your content, it becomes more confident in recommending your videos to the right audience. And that alignment between content, audience, and system is what drives growth. So you begin observing your own content more critically, asking yourself what kind of videos you can consistently create, what topics you genuinely understand or enjoy, what value you can provide that others might care about. And these questions are not always easy to answer because they require honesty, not assumptions. And as you go through this process, you start narrowing your focus, not because you have to, but because it makes everything clearer, from video ideas to titles to thumbnails. And this clarity changes how you approach your second video, because now you're not just creating randomly, you're building intentionally, thinking about how this video connects to the previous one, how it fits into your overall direction, and how it contributes to a larger picture that is slowly forming. And this is where your channel begins to take shape, not visually, but strategically, as a collection of decisions that align with each other. At the same time, you begin noticing something else, something subtle but powerful. You start understanding your audience, even if it's small, even if it's just a few viewers, because every comment, every view, every bit of engagement carries information. And as you pay attention to these signals, you begin to see patterns, what people respond to, what they ignore, what holds attention and what doesn't. And this awareness allows you to adjust, to refine, to improve with each video you create. But along with this growth comes another challenge, one that tests your discipline more than your creativity, the challenge of consistency, because now it's not just about making one video, it's about making videos regularly, about showing up even when motivation drops, even when results are slow. And this is where many creators struggle, because motivation is temporary, but consistency requires structure, planning, and commitment, and without it, progress becomes unpredictable. So you begin thinking differently again, not just as a creator, not just as a strategist, but as someone building a system, a routine that allows you to create without relying on mood or inspiration. And this might mean setting a schedule, organizing your ideas, preparing content in advance. And while it may not feel exciting, it creates stability. And that stability is what allows long-term growth. And as you continue this process, something important becomes clear. YouTube is not just testing your creativity, it's testing your patience, your discipline, your ability to stay focused even when there's no immediate reward. And those who understand this early have a significant advantage, because they stop chasing quick results and start building something sustainable. By the time you prepare to upload your second video, you're no longer the same beginner who hesitated at the start, because now you have direction, awareness, and a growing understanding of how this platform works. And while the journey ahead is still uncertain, still challenging, it no longer feels impossible, because you've moved from guessing to learning, from reacting to planning. And that shift, although gradual, is what transforms a beginner into a creator who has a real chance of succeeding.